Hello out there. This video is going to be a step-by-step tutorial on how I upgraded my Traxxas Slash for about 10 bucks total. So if you want to know, stay tuned. We have our tool list. The first is completely optional. It's an actual electric drill, but it makes things easier. We have our wrench. We have vice grips, also optional, but they help. Some kind of plier, screwdriver, Allen wrenches. These particular ones come with the Traxxas Slash. And we have our lug wrench, which also comes with the Traxxas Slash. Alright, so I have two piles here. The first pile is everything that already comes with the Traxxas Slash. The shock, an Allen wrench, one of the extra screws that comes for the shock, the washer, and two of these plastic inserts. Now everything that doesn't come with the Traxxas Slash already, for one, I have this 2-inch screw. Yeah, I got it stainless steel. A nut that goes with this, that goes on the screw. An extra screw I just found around in my drawers. It's about 1/2 inch or so. And then I have the brand new shock. It's aluminum alloy. I'll probably put the actual name of it somewhere on screen, and I'll try and put the link in the description below. Alright, so before we go any further, I want to show everybody the reason for this upgrade. So we have the factory side, which has just the one shock, and then we have the upgraded side, which has the dual shock. So when I go to lift up, the dual shock keeps it way more contained, so when you go to turn, it still lifts up, but it's not letting the car roll a whole lot. So when you go from the other side, factory, it gives it a lot more, so it'll roll a lot faster, especially depending on the height of your body. Like if you add the ProLine body extenders, have it up way higher, this thing's gonna roll so much easier. So I hope this helps with the explanation. Let's get going on it. Alright, let's go through the whole process for you in case you do not know. So first thing we're going to do is take off the wheel. And I always put the nut back on because I do not want to lose it. Alright, wheels off. Now, for taking off the shock, first, Allen wrench right at the bottom. Alright, and this will be reused. Take off the shock. Alright, so there's the shock. And this is the piece that came off the top, and this is being replaced. Alright, first, get this piece of plastic on this screw, like that, with the thick side closest to the head of the screw. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to put this piece of plastic on some pliers and then start screwing it in with by hand as far as you can. And then this is when you could take your screwdriver or however you want and start working it in there. There we go. Now it's all the way in. And again, remember, the thick side to the thin side. Now, put the shock on, and remember which way to do it because you want the shock cap on top, and this piece of metal with the rounded off edge on the bottom. So now this is going to go on the shock tower. Alright, so there we go. Find the entrance, hand screw it in there, and again you can use a regular screwdriver. Alright, now we got it started. Now, next we have to get this plastic piece, fat side, skinny side, same way as this one, on here like that. So you can start by hand, and it's gonna be harder than what I'm making it look because I already kind of pre-fitted it, so it already has the grooves on it. Basically, for you, what you're gonna have to do is, the first time I did it, I actually clamped it down, and then really, I started screwing it and held this in place, and then it finally got the grooves to go in. So basically, all you do is go in, and then what I learned is to hold it in place. And then screw it in. Alrighty. Alright, so I had to turn off the camera and adjust some things. Make sure you have a good amount of space here, because when the shock is actually hooked up, you don't want it to be angled over like this. You want it to be as straight as you can. That's why I had to get a 2-inch screw so that it was wide enough, because if you try and go right here, that shock is going to be angled really weird, and I don't think it would work right. So anyways, so you give a good amount of space, and then next I'm going to put this shock back on, and then this is when you get the nut. Put the nut on there. And then I don't want to tighten it too much, I just want to get a little snug on there so it won't go anywhere. There we go. Still able to move. Alright. First thing is hooking up the new shock. So you get the existing screw that came out of the original one. All you gotta do is poke it through the new one. Grab the washer. Put the washer through. And now what I did was the original shock was hooked up to the middle one, I believe. I'm gonna go through, because there's 3 holes, I'm gonna go through the one closest to the car. Which is right there. Start screwing it in. Alright, so we got that. Now, alright, time to work on the rear. So, if my knowledge serves me correct, this big flare side goes on this side, and this one goes where the head of the screw is. So, I'm going to line it up with the last hole, or the furthest hole from the truck. Alrighty. And there we go. And as I said on my first video before, the only main thing I was worried about were the wires catching on the shock, but you could leave them dangle like that and it might happen, but just pull them through and nothing will happen. And then the only other thing I might recommend is on this nut, maybe put some Loctite so it won't go anywhere, but I haven't yet, and I ran this thing a couple times and nothing's happened yet. So let's put the wheel back on and see how it looks. So total cost of this upgrade was $8 for the dual shocks from Amazon and about $1.50, give or take some change, for the 2 screws and 2 bolts that go on the screw. And everything else I either had or came with the Slash. Alright, let's give her a test. Oh yeah, nice and stiff. The roll is definitely a lot less than it was. I'm going to try and figure out what I want to do with the front next. But I think that's pretty good for now. Let me know what you guys think. I hope this helps somebody.